선택하신 모양은 여러분이 뽑아야 할 모양입니다.
좋겠다.
One had a 0.9% rating. Another was rejected for 10 years. Another was laughed off as too cringe to work. But when they finally aired, they shattered records, went viral, and rewrote what success looks like. These are the 10 K-drama underdogs that everyone thought would flop, until they didn't. First, Extraordinary Attorney Woo. Nobody saw this one coming.
변호인으로서 피고인을 도와 사건의 진실을 밝힐 수 있도록 최선을 다하겠습니다.
When Extraordinary Attorney Woo premiered, it flew under the radar, debuting with just a 0.9% viewership rating on ENA, a relatively unknown South Korean cable channel. But slowly and steadily, thanks to its compelling storytelling, talented cast, and a concept that felt genuinely fresh, it started gaining momentum. Viewers were hooked. Word of mouth spread like wildfire, and fans couldn't wait for the next episode. So, what made it so special? 3 words. Park, Eun-bin's performance, her portrayal of Woo Young-woo, a brilliant rookie lawyer on the autism spectrum, was nothing short of phenomenal. With warmth, emotional depth, and subtle humor, she brought a layered, deeply human character to life, never relying on tired stereotypes. Whether she was confidently arguing in court or sharing her love for whales, Park Eun-bin made Young-woo relatable, lovable, and unforgettable. By episode 9, it had skyrocketed to an incredible 15.9%, setting a new ratings record for ENA. Even more impressive, it broke into Netflix's global top 10 for non-English TV series, landing at number 3. Proof that this K-drama wasn't just winning over Korean audiences, but viewers all around the world. People connected, hard, the cases were clever, the romance was swoony, and the message, loud and clear. Being different is powerful. Extraordinary Attorney Woo wasn't just a hit. It was a heartfelt reminder that empathy and understanding still win hearts around the world. Next, the glory.
파이팅 박연진! 브라보! 멋지다 현진아!
At first, people didn't expect much. The plot was dark, diving deep into the brutal reality of school violence, psychological scars, and cold-blooded revenge. On top of that, Song Hye-kyo, known for her soft, elegant rom-com roles, had just gone through a very public, messy divorce. Many doubted she could pull off a ruthless revenge role. Many doubted if she could still draw viewers. Spoiler alert, they were dead wrong. Her performance as Moon Dong-eun, a survivor of brutal bullying who returns years later with a chilling, calculated plan for revenge, was absolutely electrifying. Quiet, controlled, emotionally shattered, yet terrifyingly composed. Fans and even critics had nothing to say to her performance because it is way beyond what is expected of her. Viewers couldn't look away. The drama crushed it, clocking over 622 million hours watched worldwide on Netflix in just 6 months, making it one of the platform's most binge-worthy Korean series ever. It sparked huge conversations online, not just about Song Hye-kyo's powerhouse acting, but about real issues like bullying, abuse of power, and justice served cold. And the industry took notice. At the 59th Baek Song Arts Awards, the drama won Best Drama, and Song Hye-kyo grabbed Best Actress, proving once and for all she's anything but typecast. Talk about a satisfying comeback to her haters. Now, let's talk about Business Proposal.
룸 잡을까요?
Let's be real. Business Proposal didn't exactly scream hit at first glance. On paper, it looked like your standard trope-loaded K-drama rom-com. Based on a webtoon, it had all the usual suspects. Fake dating, chaebol CEO meets quirky employee, a blind date gone hilariously wrong, and enough classic K-drama chaos to fill a bingo card. Most people weren't expecting much. Some even brushed it off as just another cliché mess with pretty faces. And then, it hit. Hard. What Business Proposal did differently was fully embrace the fun. The writing was snappy, the pacing never dragged, And the chemistry? Off the charts. An Hyo-seop and Kim Se-jong didn't just deliver, they sparkled. Their chemistry had fans giggling, blushing, and hitting replay on that glass wall kiss. And let's not forget the iconic second couple, Seol In-ah and Kim Min-kyu, who brought chaotic energy, sizzling tension, and pure rom-com magic. The show nailed the formula, but with flair. It gave traditional rom-com fans everything they wanted: chaebol romance, fake relationships, workplace shenanigans, and served up fresh twists for newcomers. Emotionally available male leads, bold female characters, and flirty scenes that went viral for all the right reasons. Business Proposal shot to the top of Netflix's global top 10 non-English TV shows, holding its ground for 2 solid weeks. Social media exploded with memes, swoon edits, and fan cams. It wasn't just a rom-com, it was a comfort K-drama that reminded everyone why we fell for this genre in the first place. Coming up next, reply 1997.
친구를 위해 머리를 깎았다.
When it premiered in 2012, no one predicted that this small drama from a small cable would defeat the test of time and become one of the most beloved series in K-drama history. Set in 1997 Busan, complete with regional dialects, dial-up internet, Tamagotchis, and intense fan wars, it sounded way too niche. Back then, K-dramas were all about star power, high-budget romances, or action-packed thrillers. Not a nostalgia-fueled youth drama with an unknown cast and a shoestring budget on a beginner cable channel like TVN, which was nowhere near the major player it is today. With barely any pre-release hype, no A-list names, and a risky, non-linear narrative flipping between the past and present, Reply 1997 looked like a quiet experiment doomed to slip under the radar. And yet, it exploded, peaking at a massive 7.55% viewership on cable, turning Seo In-guk and Jung Eun-ji into stars overnight and dominating the cultural conversation. But the real legacy? It started a movement. Reply 1997 made nostalgia cool again, sparking a retro drama trend that K-dramas are still riding today. It birthed the Reply franchise, followed by the equally beloved Reply 1994 and Reply 1988, cementing the series as one of the most iconic in K-drama history. Director Shin Won-ho and writer Lee Woo-jung, then relatively unknown, became instant powerhouses, later teaming up for hits like Hospital Playlist. In one bold move, Reply 1997 redefined what a hit drama could look like. Low budget, no stars, and completely unforgettable. Up next, when My Mister first dropped, no one expected it to become a classic.
우리 악수 한번 하자. 고맙다.
The story followed a weary, middle-aged engineer, played by Lee Sun-kyun, and a debt-ridden young woman, played by IU, both trudging through life under crushing burdens. With a heavy, melancholic tone and no flashy hooks, critics and viewers alike predicted it would flop. Skepticism was real. IU's casting raised eyebrows. Could this beloved idol, known for softer, youthful roles, pull off such a dark, emotionally complex character? And the significant age gap between the leads only fueled controversy, with many fearing the story would head into problematic territory. But My Mister didn't just beat expectations, it shattered them. Episode by episode, it quietly but powerfully won hearts with raw honesty, poetic writing, and breathtaking performances. IU delivered a career-defining performance as Lee Ji-yeon, silencing every doubt. Even years after its 2018 premiere, My Mister is still hailed as one of the best melodramatic K-dramas ever made, with its themes and storytelling staying deeply relevant. The cherry on top, it won Best Drama at the 55th Baeksang Arts Awards, cementing its status as a modern Korean drama masterpiece. Now for one of the biggest underdog to supernova glow-ups, Squid Game.
선택하신 모양은 여러분이 뽑아야 할 모양입니다.
When Squid Game exploded onto Netflix in 2021, it felt like an overnight success. But here's the brutal truth. This global phenomenon was actually rejected for 10 years. Let's rewind to 2009. Director Hwang Dong-hyuk pitched a script about hundreds of desperate adults forced to play deadly versions of childhood games for a massive cash prize. But studios slammed the door shut. No interest. They called it too grotesque, too violent, and totally unrealistic. It was like nothing the Korean drama world had ever seen. No swoony romances, no epic historical battles, no familiar K-drama tropes, just raw bloodshed, crushing debt, and a bleak dive into human desperation. The script was a hard pill, dark, uncomfortable, and brutally honest. Actors wouldn't touch it, worried about their careers. Investors bailed at the first sign of risk. To them, Squid Game was everything a K-drama wasn't supposed to be, and that was exactly why no one wanted to make it. Even the director himself admitted the idea felt too ahead of its time. And his own financial struggles, such as having to sell his laptop just to get by, didn't help convince anyone. Then came Netflix. In 2019, the streaming giant was doubling down on global content and spotted what others missed: a dark, gripping story with a universal punch. When Squid Game finally dropped, it didn't just succeed, it blew the roof off expectations. It became Netflix's most-watched show ever, sparked a worldwide frenzy, and cemented K-dramas as a must-watch genre on the platform. The irony, the show studios once called too weird to work ended up changing the game entirely. And now, with Squid Game Season 3 officially dropping this June 27th, the world isn't just ready, we're counting down the days. Because this time, everyone is watching. Up next, Sky Castle, a K-drama everyone said was too extra, but everyone ended up loving it anyway.
애들 대학 합격할 때마다 고생했을 엄마를 위해 축하 파티 해주는 게 우리 스카이캐슬 전통이거든요.
고마워요. 이렇게 진심으로 축하해 주셔서.
Before Sky Castle skyrocketed to become one of Korea's highest-rated cable dramas, it was the dark horse no one bet on. When it premiered in November 2018, with a measly 1.7% viewership, few expected much. A satire about elite Korean parents obsessing over their kids' college admissions, no romance, no big-name Hallyu stars, and absolutely zero escapist fantasy. In the glitzy K-drama world of swoony leads and time-traveling kings, this was risky. Critics were skeptical. The drama had little promotional push, morally gray characters, and tackled South Korea's hyper-competitive education system, with a shocking suicide in episode 1. Many called it too niche, too intense, and too local to go big. And airing opposite Encounter, a glossy romance starring Song Hye-kyo and Park Bo-gum, everyone assumed Sky Castle would get steamrolled. Production issues didn't help either. Late casting changes, a rushed pre-premiere schedule, and an unconventional storyline had the industry doubting it from day one. But then, the twist-filled scripts hit, and word of mouth spread like wildfire. By the finale, Sky Castle soared to 23.779% viewership, crushed Encounter in ratings, and became a JTBC legend. It sparked national conversations about parenting, education, and privilege, and even blew up in China, racking up hundreds of millions of Weibo hits. Turns out, being too extra was exactly what made it iconic. Up next, we have Kingdom, the K-drama that dared to break the mold and redefined an entire genre. Before Kingdom became a global sensation, it was a risky bet for Netflix. Premiering on January 25, 2019, it was Netflix's first ever original Korean series, and its wild genre mashup, Zombies meets Joseon-era political thriller, sounded like a bizarre fever dream. Most critics didn't think it would work. Even fans weren't sure what to expect from Saegyuk meets the undead. There were also cultural barriers. The show leaned deep into Korean history, Confucian-era politics, and traditional lore, raising concerns about accessibility for global audiences. In 2019, most international viewers were still hooked on light modern rom-coms. A Joseon-era zombie epidemic with heavy political undertones, it felt like a long shot. Oh, and let's not forget, the zombie genre was already overcrowded. With The Walking Dead peaking and zombie fatigue setting in, many dismissed Kingdom as too late to the game. But then, it dropped, and everything changed. Kingdom didn't just exceed expectations, it set a new standard. With razor-sharp storytelling, haunting cinematography, and a truly terrifying undead plague unlike anything seen in Korean TV, it became an instant classic. Next is something of an underdog who had the most satisfying win, Lovely Runner.
화장실! 이쪽이요. 자. 천천히 좋은 시간 보내고 나와.
This drama had no Netflix deal, no big-name leads, barely any promo, airing in the Dead Zone Monday-Tuesday slot, and yet, it ran straight into everyone's hearts and rewrote the K-drama rulebook. Before it aired, industry chatter was skeptical. Another time travel romance? A fan going back to 2008 to save her idol? People rolled their eyes. Not only that, but the drama sat in development hell for 3 years. The team struggled with casting, as many actors passed on the script, thinking it was just another idol fan love story. It looked doomed. But everything changed when they cast eun-bin as the male lead. That decision kicked production into high gear. When it finally aired, Lovely Runner turned out to be anything but ordinary. It took a seemingly simple premise, time travel, celebrity crushes, and fate, and infused it with depth, heartbreak, and electric chemistry. Kim Hye-yoon and Byun Woo-seok delivered chemistry so electric it could light up Seoul. The storytelling, a heart-tugging roller coaster of mutual rescue across timelines. The nostalgia, immaculate. MP3s, Psy-World, old-school flips, the whole 2008 vibe. Fans couldn't get enough. Despite no Netflix boost, it dominated buzz charts, trended in 130-plus countries, and the OST Sudden Shower broke records and hit Billboard and Melon. People called it the perfect rom-com, the no-skips drama of the year, and the surprise success story of 2024. Last on our list is something totally unexpected, Crash Landing on You.
건우.
네? 그게 뭔데요? 오지 마세요, 오지 마세요. 거기서 얘기하세요. 거기서 얘기하세요.
When it first aired in late 2019, some critics scoffed at its wildly romantic premise. A rich South Korean heiress crash lands in North Korea due to a freak paragliding accident and falls in love with a stoic North Korean officer. It sounded like fanfiction meets geopolitical minefield. Early skepticism centered on how a show could balance swoony romance with the very real tensions between the North and South without going completely off the rails. But what happened next? K-drama history was made. Led by the dazzling chemistry of Sun Ye-jin and eun-bin, Crash Landing on You soared into record-breaking territory. It became TVN's highest-rated drama at the time, hit Netflix's global top 10, and basically introduced the rest of the world to the soul-crushing beauty of slow-burn Korean romance. Audiences were obsessed with everything: the North Korean squad, the tear-jerking plot twists, the forbidden love, and the jaw-dropping visuals. But more than that, it pulled off the impossible. It humanized North Korea, showing everyday life and friendships across the DMZ, sparking conversation, empathy, and cultural curiosity. That was unprecedented. From viral memes to real-life love stories between the leads, it reshaped how K-dramas were viewed globally. It also helped supercharge Netflix's K-drama strategy, proving that Korean content could dominate international markets. Now, hit play on this video to see which of the top 100 most talented Korean drama actors helped turn these once underestimated K-dramas into the iconic hits they are today.